When you're growing up, was Dr. Seuss part of, like, did you, I mean, how much of Dr. Seuss were you reading when you were like kind of in elementary school?
I've read a lot of Dr. Seuss. A lot of Dr. Seuss was read to me. It's really the first book that you read, at least when I was growing up. It's simple, but it's very concise. And I guess when you're a kid, you don't realize how layered it is, how much is going on beyond the very simple words on the surface.
So when you were actually going through, you know, in a studio, reading these parts and stuff, your part, did you discover stuff about this story that maybe you didn't even realize it was there in the first place, and you were like, oh wow, it really is about these other things that...
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly as a little kid, you don't necessarily understand all of the depth that's there. And going back as an adult and reading to your kids, you see the lessons that are sort of just within the books. What I love about them is that they never feel as if they're lessons in and of themselves. They have a very gentle way of leaving their message. And I think it's the same. This movie does that. I mean, this movie it's really charming and funny and entertaining, and I don't think kids will feel like they've necessarily been taught something, but there is a very specific message within it, which I think is important.
When you were told that you had this role, how does one prepare to do a voice? I mean, like, did you try different things on your kids, or were you in the studio like, oh, we're gonna talk like this?
I'd wake them up in the middle of the night and I'd try different voices and say, listen to this, hello, I'm the mayor. And they were losing sleep, and I was scaring them, frankly, because I was never myself. For months on end, I'd just be doing different voices. No, you prepare? I don't know. I guess you could, if you were really committed, you'd go and live with some Who's, if you could find them, see how they operate.
Talk to specks of dust.
Right. Just examine specks of dust, see if there are existing civilizations on them. I don't know. I think you go in with an open mind in terms of what it could possibly be when you record. And the directors were great in that they allowed us free rein to play around and explore and to discover whatever we might discover and to improvise. So it was great, you know, and that part of it was really, it was all fun. I mean, it was just fun.
Does it actually bring this kind of kid in you when you watch this at a premiere, or or even when you were recording this and stuff? Was there something that was like, you know what, I'm doing a Dr. Seuss is awesome, or I don't know?
Oh yeah, and my kids think it's really awesome too.
So the cool
I'm
factor.
Very cool. Yeah,
Nice.
I could not be cooler. For the next few weeks, I'll be extremely cool in their eyes. So I'll have to memorize this moment, and sort of put it in my mental Rolodex, because I'm in very short fashion. I'm going to be extremely uncool. I already know that.
Really, Get Smart's not going to bring up your hip daddy factor, or?
Well, maybe when my kids are older. You know, I have a 6-year-old. You never know. I could be cool for a while in their eyes.
It's a good year.
It could be. It could be a good year for a cool dad. So we'll see.
When you finally saw this final product and stuff, what was it about this? I mean, because they've done really amazing stuff with the animation.
Yeah.
And stuff. What is it about it that you particularly like? Any characters that you like more so than others? Maybe?
Within this
Yeah.
movie, I think what struck me most of all was that the characters look like Dr. Seuss characters. It doesn't, because I think it's a very slippery slope when you reimagine something that is well known and well loved as Dr. Seuss. Everybody has an idea in their minds what it should look like. And this, to me, this looks like Dr. Seuss to me. This is what I would imagine Dr. Seuss would look like given the kind of technology that animation has these days. So that was comforting. It was also very kind. You know, the movie's very kind and funny, and it actually left me with a lump in my throat at the end, which I did not see coming. And it wasn't because I was sick. It was because it kind of got me a little bit. It was a very, it was touching without being kind of cloying, and I don't know. I think my kids are going to love it.
Everybody that's seen it really liked it, so
Oh, good.
congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Nice
lot.
talking to you.